Let's talk about whether or not the right is engaging in the same tactics that the left has popularized over the past few years in light of the Trump situation. I've got my opinions on this. You guys have probably noticed those from the past couple of videos, but here's what's being presented, okay, as an apples-to-apples comparison, and now all of a sudden the Overton window is shifted and there's insane bias in favor of the right? Interesting. Destiny got his ad suspended. And Libs of TikTok is on a doxing spree with full ads enabled. Interesting. Insane bias. If you guys want to play team sports, just block me now. Save us both the wasted time. I'm not going to apologize for calling bad behavior and your opinions are meaningless to me. Well, that's very nice because I also consider you to be of the exact same caliber. Nick Diorio, professional outrage merchant and drama grifter. But as the quartering of all people puts this, so Libs of TikTok posting public Facebook posts is now considered doxing. Yeah, that's very interesting because that's kind of how Libs of TikTok got famous. It's like, hey, look at these insane people posting all of this stuff proudly and thinking that that's going to be okay and a mainstream acceptable. Why are they doing that? This isn't, running public registries in order to find people where they live, how much they pay in taxes per year. Technically public information. Not too dissimilar from the Grum situation from a few weeks or months. This entire year is running together. There's just been so much news. Forgive me if my time frame's a little bit off, but earlier this year when Grums was doxed by Nick Calandra of Second Wind, that cucked out outlet, they went and grabbed a whole bunch of different information, searched up a bunch of different registries, brought it all together, and exposed where Mark lives and where other family members live as well. That's very different than just simply doing this for Linda Peterson. Okay, who makes this post, okay, damn it, he didn't die. Well, at least one supporter did. I'll take what I can get. My heart goes out to the family of the shooter. Know that he died doing what needed to be. Wow, hopefully somebody will. Wow, okay, so that to me, okay, that is very different. That is very different than what a bunch of conservatives have been doing, resulting in their cancellation, resulting in them losing their job, as with what happened with the lovely Lauren right here, as somebody who I don't necessarily endorse accosting them at their place of work. I always think that that's a little bit cringe, but just run through the different examples, because this is the level. This is the level that the left has to get to in order to feel just a fraction of the repercussions that the right has been facing for years. Okay. You've got Scott Greer pointing out that the correct response to the Home Depot cashier being fired for wishing Trump died is, I don't care. Libs get electricians fired for doing okay hand sign and other workers terminated for criticizing Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Exactly. That's just a 30,000-foot view of this situation, something that, probably triggers a few memories for a lot of people that are out there. You lived through this time as well. You know exactly how rampant this stuff was getting before Elon Musk purchased Twitter. Imagine the situation playing out right now if Jack Dorsey was still in charge of Twitter and Elon had just stayed in his lane over at Tesla and SpaceX. This isn't some great victory, but you shouldn't cry over it. No, exactly. But then is some retard and a bunch of cuckservatives that have just obviously outed themselves right now, trying to take the old Mitch McConnell, John McCain, Mitt Romney approach to this stuff. Oh, we need to lose with dignity. If you've been getting your ass kicked for generations, okay, and you think that your best defense is to just turtle up harder, I don't want your opinion, okay? I've got to a point now. And I don't know, maybe I've been radicalized or something like that, but I don't want to take opinions from people who live the lives that I want nothing to do with. I don't want to listen to some open marriage having 5'6", 103-pound degenerate. I don't want to hear that. I don't also want to hear how stupid or unprincipled you're being from somebody who is clinically obese and trolls social media looking for male to female transmissions. Okay, I'm not going to take your advice, nor am I going to take your criticism. I'm just simply going to approach your opinion with, I don't care, because you're a loser. I don't want anything to do with you. Your opinion doesn't matter. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm thinking a lot of people are at, because they remember the times when the likes of Alex Jones were just simply entertaining an idea, something that Joy Reid has done time and time again, continues to do time and time again, suggesting that Trump staged everything last Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump, it was all a big work. Brother. See, he even brought Hulk Hogan on stage at the RNC. That's how you know it's a work. He got advice on how to blade. He had a blood packet on stage. You could see he made this hand movement where he had blood on his hands and, trying to wipe it away. He was actually taking a blood packet after he smeared it on his face. He knew that he was in with all of those Secret Service agents that brought him to the ground. No, we're just going to be down here, guys, for about a count of 10. Then I'm going to get up. I'm going to stare straight at the camera. Okay. And I'm going to go fight. That's it. This is all a part of this work. We've already run through the dress rehearsal on this. This is going to make for an iconic image. And yeah, we just had to, prior to the event going live, prior to cameras rolling, we had to go into the crowd, pick out one person at random and say, unfortunately, sir, Corey, you're going to have to die for this staged event. Are you insane? Clearly, they are. And yeah, as the Hodge twins point out, who have become incredibly base this year, sue her for billions and bankrupt her. That's what they did to Alex Jones. Yeah, exactly. And Alex Jones simply entertain the idea, okay? Alex Jones walked back statements he didn't even make. He had people on his show entertain the idea of crisis actors. He took phone calls of those insane people wearing those tinfoil hats. He didn't do anything approaching what Joy Reid has done, both on social media and on MSNBC proper. She still has a job. She still has employment. I'm not saying to fire her. I'm just saying it's about time we start holding these people to the same standards, because they have been getting away with shit for a long time. Remember how the left tried to ruin the life of a child? Yeah, exactly. He's wearing blackface and that is unacceptable. We can't allow these racist fans. Oh, wait, he's quarter native and 9 years old. But guys, we can't condone somebody endorsing obviously illegal speech. Calls to violence isn't protected speech. This isn't something that's covered under free speech. That is very obviously an exception. Saying that at the next rally, make sure you don't miss, that is a pointed threat on any social media. I don't like these terms of service, okay? I don't like these morality clauses that these companies have, but just because I don't like something doesn't mean it is any less real. And that's what happened, man. All of these people, because I can imagine, and this has been pointed out time and time again, Linda Peterson, okay? You see her at Home Depot. We all have worked retail jobs. We've all worked different types of roles where you've had somebody at your workplace who looks like this. You know what kind of a tyrant they are. Has probably made countless people's lives miserable. She was probably one of those people. Where's your mask? Show me your vaccine card, okay? She was probably the same people. If you troll through that same Facebook profile, you'll probably notice a bunch of death wishes for people that didn't get the jab. She was probably also the same person that would say, oh yeah, it's totally fair that somebody doesn't get an organ transplant just because they didn't want to engage in a game of medical Russian roulette. If she's open and brazen about wanting to see somebody's head explode just because they disagree with them politically, you would have to think that she has done shit like this for a very long time. But yeah, no, left trying to ruin the life of a child, thrust him into the media spotlight. Sure, everybody mocked the Deadspin writer for that, but he's a professional race grifter. He got to that point because he felt comfortable in that position. It was only a point in time when he crossed that line when, he started to feel repercussions. But before that, arguably where this all kicked off, leftists destroyed a Colorado baker's entire existence for refusing to bake a cake for a gay wedding. And gloated about a 75-year-old man being blown to pieces by the FBI for making some off-colored jokes about Biden online. And that's Craig Robertson right here. I remember covering this story back when it ended up happening. Yeah, he made some posts on Facebook. The FBI kicked down his door and killed him. They banned endless amounts of us from social media and lost the sums of money that they cannot even cannot be fathomed by doing so. I mean, in the gaming space, which we're going to get to another example of, and hell, I might as well just, pull that up right here, as Grums points out. Blaine Pardoe, one of the most important authors for the BattleTech franchise, he got fired for, espousing room temperature conservative talking points and voting in a certain direction. Catalyst is the current licensor of a Battletech tabletop, a game owned by Tops, with the license in 2007. Original team member from Battletech, such as authors Mike Stackpole, Blaine Pardoe, generated excitement as they joined Catalyst to continue their legacy, but the authors were at odds as Mike is left-leaning and Blaine is a conservative, both active in politics on social media. In 2022, Blaine was a well-known issue with a Battletech fan named Faith McCloskey at the time, an extremist far-left pretending to be a lesbian single mother of 3 children. Faith repeatedly tried to cancel Blaine from Battletech and stalked and harassed him, even threatening violence. Interesting. What ended up happening to Faith? Well, it's an insane person on social media. Of course, nothing. The issue was severe enough that Blaine had to seek a restraining order against Faith. But when Catalyst decided to publish a short story by Faith, the community exploded. Angry that they would publish someone who had gone after Blaine, Tops ordered Catalyst to handle it, and they fired Blaine in July of 2022. You also remember in gaming this time last year, Nick Merckx, right? FPS streamer and all that stuff. He has got a little bit more emboldened in his espousing of conservative ideals, but yeah, this time last year, he had the radical statement of saying, hey, in regards to all of this trans ideology getting pushed, why don't we just leave the kids out of it? He lost his Call of Duty sponsorship deal. He lost his operator skin, which is probably thousands of dollars down the drain for the simple statement of leave kids alone. Bake the cake, you bigot, was the standard. And if you didn't do that, you're the bad guy. But yet again, the left can just simply go ahead and run rampant, man, up to the point where they're outside of the RNC. Yeah, and you have a Biden supporter. I'm not going to play the video, but you can take a look at it at its own leisure, and I can simply go ahead and confirm that that is what is in the video itself right at the end. You have somebody out there wishing horrific violence on somebody for just simply saying they're a Trump supporter. This is what we've been dealing with for a long time, and as Grums points out, there are two types of people speaking out about cancel culture now. Those who were there, and were canceled. 15 strikes on YouTube, my guys. For what? Talking about 2020 shenanigans, both electoral and also pandemic related, all of which, just oddly enough, now is just commonplace talking points that we can all just, congregate on, right? And they were speaking out against it when it started. Yeah, exactly. Saying that, not saying anything illegal here, not saying anything wrong, not saying something that other people, why is there an unequal application of the rules? That's all that we were asking for at the time. The right has a really good reputation when it comes to policing their own. When somebody crosses the line, they are excised out of the group, toot sweet. But there's a standard. There's a qualification that is there and processed that as long as it's not illegal, it can go ahead and fly. Whereas the left, the more radical, the more welcome you are. And then finally, yes, Grums points out the second group of people, those who suddenly found their voices today and wish they had said something, done something in the past. It is great that number 2 is there to help now, but they should refrain from lecturing the right about it as if they made it worse. Yeah, that's just gaslighting, the left canceling over a passing breeze, a whiff of a dog whistle or an okay sign, or following the wrong person. Oh yeah, exactly. One of the most egregious examples, which we could just run down for days. And Grums, if you take a look at his Twitter timeline, I mean, like, he's just posting all the ones that I've forgot. Like, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, he was canceled. The guy behind Five Nights at Freddy's, for simply donating to a Trump PAC. He was hounded into retirement. You have innocuous example after innocuous example. After the 2020 election, what was it? AOC wanting to put all Trump supporters on a list and send them for re-education? No. We're not supposed to come out. We're not supposed to revel in people endorsing death threats. People making death threats, holding them to the standard. Hell, I would say an elevated standard, one that has legal precedent, isn't simply based on feelings and opinions. No. Holding people to grounded legal fact. And we're supposed to feel bad about that? We're supposed to stand in front of a speeding bullet. We're supposed to be Trump's ear in this situation? Get out of here. Because you want to take a look at real cancel culture happening right now? You just have everybody, doing gun reviews, which is a fairly sizable corner of YouTube. YouTube has disallowed all sponsorships from gun companies and anyone making accessories. Most of these channels are already demonetized and are now crucial to survival. Yeah, exactly. What was their sin? Oh, I don't know. Exercising their Second Amendment right. So people wanting to pay for high quality content are no longer allowed to do it. For what reason exactly? People wanting to engage in legal business are no longer allowed to do it. No, man, this isn't a fair comparison. So when shit like this, shit like a Destiny getting suspended on kick, we talked about, I think it was yesterday, right? All this stuff, it's all happened so quickly this week. Forgive me if I can't keep everything straight, and considering we're talking about Destiny, that totally fits this scenario. Says he will never apologize for his treatment of conservatives. Good. Go ahead. Speed run the end of your career, because you're getting a lot of attention, a lot of traction right now. And maybe whenever there is a conservative W that is had out there on the horizon, maybe some people will go ahead and check in on you, just like whenever Cenk Uygur has a meltdown. Okay, people go and engage in a little bit of schadenfreude and type the Young Turks in the search bar for the first time in a long time. But Destiny hates conservatives. He has called for the death of conservatives, not just recently. You take a look at his track record. He has espoused his detestation of anybody to the right of Joseph Stalin. These are the people trying to tug on your heartstrings, trying to appeal to emotion, trying to appeal your sensibilities, trying to hold you to the tenets of a book that they mock ruthlessly. They want you to turn the other cheek to their indiscretions. But no. As many people that have been apprised of the word of the good book that says the meek shall inherit the earth, the pen is mightier than the sword. You know how all of those things are true? Well, they're only true if you're a capable person and you know when to use force accordingly. If you're somebody that can say no, mean it, and back it up, if you are crossed, that is the compassionate person. That is the meek individual. That is the person whose pen is mightier than their sword. It is not somebody who's going to be a doormat. It is not somebody who is going to be a loser. But as long as we win the argument and have dignity at the end of it, that's not how we return to normal. That's not how we course correct. We just simply hold these people to the standard that they try to apply to us for all of those years. You weaponized cancel culture. We warned you. Don't say that we didn't. And now you got to be held accountable for your own actions. Really does suck to suck. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.